What's up, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse? Welcome back to the Marvelous Wave as we continue our coverage for Spider-Man No Way Home and answering various questions fans had, most directly this time by the writers themselves, as again this comes from an official source, the creators behind Spider-Man No Way Home, answering one of the biggest questions that fans had speculated about before the release of No Way Home after the post-credit scene of Let There Be Carnage, that being how exactly Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote made their way directly into the MCU, especially because on the surface, it seemed apparent that Venom did not know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, which was the catalyst for various villains to be pulled into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and ripped from their home universes. Today though, we have the answer again from the writers themselves. First though, we are giving away two Spider-Man figures today. One is a normal Spider-Man and the other is an Iron Spider. Both figures are super highly posable. To know if you've won is if I directly respond to your comment, either on YouTube in the comments section down below or on Twitter. We also have a few more figures to give away and the rules will remain the same, only this will serve as a brand new starting point. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow the rest of the very basic rules in the description below. Now let's continue and answer the question according to the writers. While speaking with Variety, the writers explained that the answer to this plot hole lies within Venom himself. In particular, it seems that the alien symbiote possesses knowledge of other universes. And here's what Chris McKenna said. The idea is that the symbiote has knowledge of other universes. Buried in his brain is some knowledge of that connection. Buried somewhere, he knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. The most important thing is that this wasn't just going to be a bunch of fan service. It wasn't going to be curtain calls for everybody. We had to figure out a way to make this movie work and tell the story of Peter Parker right now, organically continuing the story of where we last left him off in the last movie, that being Far From Home. That was always our North Star. Yeah, it's a big fun idea to have Venom be a prominent figure in the film, but let's not forget Peter. You can't get lost in the mix. It has to be his emotional story and his emotional journey. Essentially though, what the writer is saying is that somewhere in the symbiote's hive mind is knowledge that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Whether or not this is knowledge that originates from the Sam Raimi Venom that we saw in Spider-Man 3 is not confirmed in the interview. However, we know across all of the different multiverses, as we can now assume that all of the different animated shows do somewhat exist in different universes as a part of this one giant Marvel universe. There are of course several iterations of the Venom character that knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. 80 billion light years of hive knowledge across universes would explode your tiny little brain. Essentially what the Venom symbiote is saying is that they actually are a part of a hive cumulative and that this hive has access to knowledge from other universes, which is what many fans were speculating. Many fans speculating that it was actually the Venom from Venom 3 that allowed Venom to know the identity of Peter Parker from a separate universe, as of course we know the Venom from that film did know Peter Parker was Spider-Man. But again, at this current point in time, we know that there are potentially thousands of iterations of the Venom character that know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and unlike a lot of the other characters, they're a part of this cumulative hive knowledge. And the characters are all so similar from different universes that this hive knowledge does actually expand to these different universes, which is an interesting prospect. Even though on the surface Venom may not be quite aware that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, this could also be what draws Eddie Brock's Venom to Spider-Man in the post-credit scene of Let There Be Carnage, some sense of familiarity with the character. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on the writers basically confirming what many fans had thought, that the hive knowledge actually expanded to separate universes when concerning Venom and the other symbiote? What are your thoughts on the writers coming right out and confirming this fact? And do you think that it makes logical sense for the story? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for continuing to watch and support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal day.